What up, it's Chris from LaserLemming and UpandLoaded.com. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Nintendo Switch, today was the day, the night, it has been revealed. Again, so I think in October, Nintendo first showed that 3-minute video. People having fun with the Nintendo Switch. You know what it is. It's the console that's a handheld. And January 12th was the day. Everything would be revealed, announced, shown off. They did all right. A couple days ago, I found out that the Switch conference, whatever you want to call it, was going to be broadcast live from Japan, and that deflated a lot of hype I had for the thing because I don't know what the problem is, but whenever I see an event held live in Japan, the production, the presentation, it just is not there at all. And this was no different. The people were very unenthusiastic. Even the people Nintendo brought, like the EA guy, when he was talking about FIFA's going to be on there. When he's talking about FIFA, he's just, I wish I wasn't here in Japan. And every Japanese person from the Nintendo employees, some of them were kind of enthusiastic, but many of them not so much. But everybody was just like not really happy to be there. And in typical Japanese fashion, they're very modest when it comes to being an audience. So when you watch a press conference from Sony or Microsoft and you hear the woo, 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 and the big old claps and applauses and cheers, that does not happen. And anything I've seen out of Japan, I've never seen an audience get excited about anything or laugh at a joke or clap. It just doesn't happen. And this was no different. Yet, there was some E3 attitude from some of the people that came up, like Suda51, when he announced No More Heroes 3. He doesn't have a title yet, but that's pretty much what it's going to be. When he went up there, he went, "What's up?" or something along that line. And he said, "Oh, well, that didn't go as planned," because nobody clapped, nobody cheered, applauded, whatever. And this was just so, if you had hype and you were just so excited to finally watch this thing, it just totally drained the life out of you. It's just completely unentertaining. And the translators, so this is being live broadcast from Japan by Nintendo Japanese translators, and the Americans that are translating this are not doing so good. There was one translator that did just fine, but he clearly had no real script to follow. He was just listening and translating, and it was evident. The other one sounded like he was 22, 23, 24-year-old white guy out of college, and he was having a tough time. He would take his time figuring out what they said, and really stumbling, just draining more life out of everything. So I want to talk about the specs and the price and the launch date after this. First, the good news. The system's going to launch March 3rd. When Nintendo or many companies say coming this March or coming this July, whatever, it's usually at the end of that month. But March 3rd is less than 2 months away from now, so it's coming soon. Now the not so good news. System's going to be $300. Could be worse, but it shouldn't be. Many people, myself included, were expecting a $250 price point, which would be the sweet spot, I think. But the prices on this thing do go nuts. In the presentation, they don't talk about prices beyond the price of the console. There's going to be 2 SKUs, exactly the same, different color Joy-Cons. Anyway, so the prices on the controllers, I went to the website because Nintendo says there's going to be more details on the website after this presentation, and there were. The prices of the controllers are insane. Sold separately. You can buy Joy-Cons sold separately, I believe, at $50 a piece, which is crazy expensive. Crazy expensive. That means to get a left and a right, you got to pay $100. That's nuts. If I got that one right. But the Pro controller, I was excited about the Pro Controller. It's going to be $70. I believe that is the most expensive controller, basic standard controller from a company we've yet to see. $70. The PS4 controllers are about $65, I believe. $70. But it does house a lot of technology. It's much more advanced than the Pro controllers we are used to from the Wii U. This one has this advanced rumble technology, which is in the Joy-Cons. Nintendo demonstrated it with the idea of a glass. You throw an ice cube in that glass, you can feel it jingling around. Another ice cube, feel it all jingling around. And they said, pour some water in it, you can feel all of that. It's next generation rumble is what I'm calling it right now. It's very cool. Very cool. So it's going to be in there, and it also has the Amiibo NFC stuff. Also in the Joy-Cons. Oh, and the Joy-Con, the right Joy-Con has a 3D camera in it that can measure distance and size and depth. It's pretty cool. That is really cool. That was not announced. Also, of course, it has the home button and the record button. Record button is screenshots only right now. It will be videos in the future, they said, so they'll patch that in, and you'll be able to share that to the social medias, which is really cool. That was really cool. Not expected. Now, here's a big one. Online. Online, Nintendo is saying, is going to be free to try. Yeah, you know, like Super Mario Run. Free to try. So you get to pay after fall 2017, this year. So if you are a launch supporter, you know, you buy the Switch at launch, you get to try. Anytime between March 3rd and let's say September 3rd. Anytime between then, online is free, you know, like it has always been on the Wii U and the Wii and the 3DS and DS. But no longer. Nintendo is seeing dollar signs, and I think it could bite them in the ass, honestly. So Nintendo is trying to emulate the PlayStation Plus model and the Xbox Live Gold model, where they charge you to access peer-to-peer online multiplayer. Sucks. But they have announced a few upgrades, but they also get into the greedy side of things. One of them being voice chat. Yes, so they are kind of treating it like they never had voice chat, but Nintendo had voice chat with the Wii, they had voice chat with the Wii U. It was just rarely implemented, especially by Nintendo themselves. But this system will have voice chat, but the way they're doing it is kind of weird, and I feel a little bit unnecessary. What they're doing is they're going to have an app. I don't know the name of it, but they say online lobbies and online play. I don't know, something along those lines. And the app is going to be for your smartphone or your smart devices. They keep saying. So you will invite people to a lobby, a party probably, I guess you could call that, and you could chat with them through your smart device. So does that mean you have to get a Bluetooth for your smart device or headphones? So you have to plug your cell phone in to talk to your friends? I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's your phone, essentially. You're just talking on the phone. you could call your friends in 3-way, 4-way, whatever you want to do. But it sounds like they've given you a device, an app for your phone to call people. So, except, you know, to be limited, they'll cut you off in the middle of matches and whatever. But it's kind of cool. But the greedy part of it was that I was reading further. They said a basic version of this app will be available for free. So that means they're going to try to squeeze you for more money for a better version of the app that has more features. That's kind of shitty. Oh, and another way it's going to be like Plus and Gold is that you're going to get free games. So one monthly game for free. So on PlayStation Plus, you get 2 on the PS4, I believe, 2 per console roughly, and Xbox Live Gold, I think you get the same deal. But Nintendo is saying 1 game per month, and the game will be either an NES game or a Super Nintendo game. And it doesn't specify whether that is a game of your choice or of Nintendo's choice. Pretty greedy, I think. Fairly greedy. We don't know prices on this yet though. So if it's like $30 a year, I still think it's pretty damn shitty to pay to play online. But it's better than $60 per year, like Plus and Gold. Also, we don't know if this is going to be good. This shit better be better, you know? Because the Wii U online multiplayer, it was fine. It was decent, but I wouldn't say it's worth paying for. On the PC, I still don't got to pay for it because it's stupid. PC players know this. But wait, there's more. Unlike the Wii U and 3DS and I believe the Wii, the Switch is region free. That means you can import all of your weird little hentai games. No problemo, it'll play on your system. eBay will be happy. So, other things to take note of. Uses USB Type-C. This was already kind of confirmed, but Nintendo actually talked about it. And that is very good because the battery life is so crappy. It is about 2.5 to 6 hours, they said. Maybe sometimes more than that. But if you go on the website, it really kind of hints that it's going to be about 2.5 hours. Not so good. But, you know, if you have a USB Type-C plug up in it, then you're good to go. Also, there's going to be, on the Joy-Cons, the right one has a camera, a 3D camera that can detect depth and all that cool stuff. But also you can get the Joy-Cons in different colors. Right now it's just going to have two options, which are also the two different SKUs. Gray or purple, or purple, but red and blue. Neon blue. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, games. Okay, this is where it gets a little iffy for me. First game they showed was 1-2 Switch, which is like a dueling game. You duel in different ways. Gun draw. I don't know. Sports. I don't know. But the funny thing about this game reveal was that you don't look at the screen at all. The very first game they want to show you for the Nintendo Switch does not involve you looking at the screen. And I don't think that's inherently bad, but this was not the game to start things off. Second game they showed was this game called ARMS. It was kind of a unique boxing game, and it looked pretty cool, to be honest. You move by tilting the controllers. You have two Joy-Cons in your hand, and you punch, and you can block and jump, and it looks pretty fun. I'm not selling it that well, but honestly, I wasn't sold immediately when I watched the trailer. But as it progressed, it got cooler and cooler looking. What else we got here? Oh, Splatoon 2 was announced. They did not go with the Splatoon where the 2 is in the title, but it was announced. It's Splatoon 2 coming in the summer, which is not too far, you know, just half a year away. But that's pretty cool. A lot of people were speculating that the Splatoon game that comes out would be a Splatoon remaster. Doesn't look to be the case. It looks to be fun. The delivery of the announcement was not so cool. I can't complain enough about the way they presented this thing. What else we got here? Oh, big one. Big one. Super Mario Odyssey. This is awesome. This is really cool. It looked like Grand Theft Auto Mario. This joke's been made, but it really did. For the first time, you see Mario running amongst people that look like human beings. And so he's this short little guy running around cities, and he goes to different worlds outside of the Mushroom Kingdom. I am thrilled. Like, they showed so many cool things you could do. He threw his hat. Oh, and his hat's a character with eyes. But he threw his hat, and he jumped on it as a platform, and he's riding all kinds of cool stuff. It looked incredible. It looked incredible. They really got me excited about Mario again. It looks like a real successor to Super Mario 64. It was really cool. They also showed off Xenoblade 2. Next we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So this one is a remaster or an upgrade of a Wii U game. It's not Mario Kart 9. The logo looked pretty slick. From what I'm assuming, you know, it has some new characters like King Boo and probably all of the DLC from the Wii U version and more. So I'm sure it'll be really cool. I'm sure it'll be cool. I hope they don't charge $60 for it. I think that would be kind of stingy. So they probably will. As far as third parties go, Nintendo said that there's over 50 third parties developing games for the system right now, and over 80 games are in development. So after they do that, they barely talk about third parties. And they do give them time, but the time that they give is poorly utilized. The best examples, I want to say, were from Bethesda. They had a guy who could speak in front of the camera, but, he wasn't amazing, but just watching him, I was comparing it to what was going on, and it was night and day. So they had Bethesda, they had EA come up to talk about FIFA, they had some Japanese developers as well. The No More Heroes guy came out, Suda51. He said No More Heroes 3 coming out. That's kind of cool. But outside of that, it wasn't nearly as good as I wanted it to be. Now, FIFA is not the only sports game being developed. There's also NBA 2K17, which we saw in the original announcement trailer, and there was a snowboarding game too. I'm not sure what that one was, but that looked pretty cool. There were some Japanese games. There was a new Shin Megami Tensei game, and Octopath Tensei or something like that, and four Dragon Quest games, 10, 11, and Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. I don't know. It was a lot of Dragon Quest games, and there was another Square Enix game. I think that was the Octopath, but overall, the third-party stuff was really lacking. I thought we would get something, especially maybe from Ubisoft, something. I feel like maybe Nintendo is holding some cards to their chest for E3, but come on, you're trying to sell this thing. I think a lot of people probably felt very underwhelmed by this. I know I did. And then they concluded with the big one. They did not end this thing on the Wii Party fireworks. Well, whatever, the Wii U game with fireworks. They didn't just show a cheesy little sprite firework show at the end like they did at E3. This was actually a really good trailer for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It looked incredible. It was a great game. It really looks like it has been in development for a long time. It really shows. But they showed characters, story, and the big bomb being dropped was that it had voice acting, which has never happened in the Zelda series. It's been requested for probably like 15 years now, and it actually happened. Now, granted, these characters were speaking in Japanese. They do a pretty good job. I hope that Nintendo actually localizes it and gives it some English dub too. It looks pretty cool. It looks really cool, and it is coming out on March 3rd, same day as the Switch. Some people were saying that it was going to be delayed until summer. It's not. So that's finally happening. Alright, let's wrap this up. This has been going a long time. Obviously, I have a lot of thoughts on this. Overall, I think this presentation really dampened a lot of expectations, myself included. But I'm still very excited for the thing. I just want to see some actual game announcements. This is not enough. But two of those games really impressed me. That was Zelda and Mario. So there is definitely some good stuff there. And if some of those rumors turn out to be true, like the exclusive Platinum game and other third-party games in development, they just really need to announce it. But I'm looking forward to that. So let me know your thoughts. What did you think of the Switch re-reveal? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you gotta have it? You know my thoughts. I've rambled enough. But let me know your thoughts. Comment section below. Subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.